Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the 2012 Kia Optima Hybrid Premium. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the Optima Hybrid. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up. Let her run. The Hybrid Premium comes standard with an integrated smart key access system. All you have to do is keep the key fob in your pocket, and using the little black buttons on the driver and passenger's door handle, you're able to lock and unlock the vehicle. Just tap it once, one beep indicates locking, and then hit it again. Two beeps indicate unlocking. The exterior color is known as light graphite, and comes with a full black leather interior with gray cloth accenting on the seats. Along with that smart key system, the vehicle also comes with push button start. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. When you start the vehicle up and it's cold, the engine will actually idle around 1500 to 2000 RPM to charge the battery up a little bit and get the system nice and warmed. You'll also notice that the seat has an auto recall function for the memory setting. When the vehicle is off, it slides back to allow entry and exit to be a little bit easier. Once you start it back up, it'll recall the last setting. The Optima Hybrid, to aid in efficiency, comes standard with electric assist, speed proportional rack and pinion power steering, leather wrapped in the premium model, and a 4-spoke design with a little bit of satin gray accenting coming across the multifunction steering wheel controls. There's also a little bit of grip extensions off the side here, giving it a little bit more of a sporty feel. As far as the gearbox, standard and only transmission available is a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability down below. And as soon as you put the vehicle in reverse, an integrated backup camera appears, also with guidance lines. Nicely accented with a bit of bright work, traipsing into a leather shift boot and a polished housing. And so we're going to flip on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps, as well as the hazards. Both the driver and passenger windows are fully automatic. And let's go and check out the exterior, shall we? The vehicle will also chime a few seconds, letting you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. For the past several years, we've seen great improvements in both Kia and Hyundai's model range. Kia has very successfully created an attractive value-price lineup that's not only attractive to look at, but downright modern. This is fully embodied in the newest generation Optima. What was originally known as a bland family sedan most popular with rental fleets has become one of the best style leaders in the sedan market. Entry-level LX models begin just under 20 grand, while top SX turbo trims reach upwards of 27,000. That's not including the new SX Limited for 2013. Of course, with automakers going more towards green technologies and hybrid powertrains, you would of course expect Hyundai and Kia to enter the green race. The Optima Hybrid was first introduced in 2011 and was the company's first hybrid offering. It features an innovative lithium polymer battery pack coupled with a familiar 4-cylinder powertrain and conventional automatic transmission. No changes were made from 2011 to 2012 aside from the addition of Microsoft's Uvo infotainment system, but more on that later in the video. The hybrid comes with a very unique set of polished 17-inch aluminum alloy wheels with high-gloss black painted accents, all wrapped in Kumho Solus all-season tires measuring 215/55. Brakes consist of 11.8-inch one-piece ventilated cast iron discs in front and 11.2-inch solid iron discs in the rear, all paired with four-wheel single-piston sliding calipers. It all brings the Optima to a stop from 60 miles an hour and approximately 126 feet, which is average for this class. As far as the suspension, it's fully independent with McPherson struts in the front and a multi-link rear, all with coil springs, twin-tube dampers, and anti-roll bars. As you come across the side, you'll notice the hybrid Optima doesn't scream out its green intentions with highly modified body cladding, badges, or decals, and I'll touch on that a little bit later during the test drive. If anything, it looks like a proper sports sedan with unique front and rear clips as well as side skirts. But it does have its little unique nuances, such as black and silver accenting on the front and some polished brightwork. In fact, the only hybrid badge is on the rear. The new Ford Fusion Hybrid is also similar in its modesty, but in my opinion it makes the transition to hybrids a lot more comfortable for a lot of people. They blend in a lot more, but still give a little bit of a unique flavor. The Optima carries its sporty premium look with full LED wraparound tail lamps and a deck lid mounted spoiler. The edgy look of the front is very well complemented by the rear with slender chrome strips highlighting the rear window that flow forward up into the windshield. Now obviously I mentioned before that this is the premium hybrid. There's actually two different trim levels of Optima Hybrid, base and, well, premium. The premium is about a $5,000 option or so. The base model car starts around $26,000, while this particular model tops out around $32,000. But it comes with basically all of your extra technological goodies and styling features such as all of the smart key and push button access, all of your panoramic sunroof, LED turn signal mirrors, and a whole lot more. Overall length is 190.7 inches with a width of 72 inches and a height of 57.3 inches. Total curb weight is around 3,641 pounds, which is about 200 pounds heavier than a standard Optima.
And we're going to pop the hood.
To keep up with familiarity, Kia and Hyundai developed their own hybrid powertrains off their existing engines, which are slightly modified for the hybrid application. They consist of all aluminum 2.4-liter dual overhead cam 16-valve 4-cylinders with variable intake and exhaust valve timing. The companies were also the first to use an all-new lithium polymer battery pack, which is lighter and more compact than a standard lithium-ion battery. Coupled with an array of electronic clutches replacing torque converters, it created a unique drivetrain. It can be a bit choppy though at low speeds when transitioning between gas and electric with the timing of the shifts, but overall it feels more like a traditional car with a 6-speed automatic than a hybrid with a CVT. Kind of a hate it or love it type of thing. The electric motor itself puts out about 40 horsepower, which supplements the engine. Total combined horsepower is 206 at 6,000 RPM and 154 pound-feet of torque at 4,250 RPM. While it does have more power than a standard Optima, it balances out with the extra weight. 0 to 60 times are around 8.4 seconds with a quarter-mile time of 16.1 seconds at 87.7 miles per hour. Initial fuel economy numbers were 35 city and 40 highway, but in reality it is less. I once had a pure highway average of 39, but combined it was closer to 32, 33, even as low as 30. That's on regular octane gas in a 17.2 gallon fuel tank. The interior styling definitely screams sport. Overall build quality has also vastly improved over the years, especially from Optimas just only a few years ago. The interior is very modern with plenty of unique styling accents, a little bit of luxury touches and padded accents, and unique sports seats. Across the door panels you feature a nice amount of padded material, all in the appropriate touch points, a little bit of lower storage, your trunk and fuel cap release, perforated leatherette trim coming up across the middle, and a stitched leatherette armrest. All of your power windows, power locks, power mirrors with an automatic power folding function. The sport leather bucket seats are very similar to what you would find in an Optima SX, with a little bit of gray color accent cloth coming across the outside and color accent stitching. The perforated trim comes up across the middle up top and works well with the heated and ventilated function. You also have side airbags, adjustable seatbelts, and adjustable headrests. Aluminum illuminated door sill plaques, logoed floor mats, and a full manual telescoping steering wheel with heat function in the premium model. Up across down below the dash, you also have your traction control, display brightness, and stitched padded leatherette accenting coming across the speedometer binnacle, extending over to the middle of the dash.
So let's go and see how she sounds. Now what's real interesting about hybrid vehicles is when the vehicle's in EV mode, you can press the pedal and go ahead and activate the engine, but as soon as you let off of it, it returns to EV mode, unless it's continuously cycling to charge the battery or something of that nature. So it doesn't really rev like a traditional vehicle does. And that's just me pressing the pedal. We'll do a little bit more sound clips on the highway. So we're going to shut her up. Nice tight fitting panels. Then the gasoline engine kicks in to help power the electric motor. And we'll go ahead and get a little acceleration clip and accurately see how it sounds on the highway. And that was about to 60, it wasn't a full throttle or anything like that. But that was basically in combination with the 4-cylinder engine and the gasoline motor. So bottom line, the good thing about this car is that it's a hybrid without it necessarily feeling like a hybrid. The Hyundai Sonata hybrid, it looks like a hybrid. The views on it are pretty mixed. I'm personally not a huge fan of the way it looks, but this car, you can't really tell it's a hybrid. It's got some different wheels on it, a couple silver accents, and the hybrid badge on the back. Other than that, it's not changed at all, which is really nice for someone who wants a hybrid but doesn't want to go down the road with a vehicle that says, hey, I'm a hybrid. And plus you still get all of the great technology in here. The build quality is good, but with the premium look that the car has, it still needs just a little bit of work on some of the parts on the inside. The dash and everything is padded, but like the center console and parts of the door, it's still got some harder materials. But Kia has made an amazing amount of progress along with Hyundai over the past couple of years. The vehicles are downright almost perfect, and I personally would recommend them to anybody, just because of the value and the warranty and everything like that. But everything takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, basically. And if they're producing cars like this in just a few years of what they used to be, you can only imagine what really neat and cool things and even more well-built things will be produced in the future. And now you see the gasoline engine both powering the vehicle and charging the battery, since the battery ran just a little bit low. And also periodically the engine will run in tandem with the electric motor if more power is desired or needed. Otherwise, through brake energy regeneration as well as just decelerating, it'll automatically recharge the battery in itself too in EV mode, so you're not using the gasoline engine to charge up the battery. I know it's a lot to take in. Like I said, it takes a little while to get used to, but it's a pretty neat system when you think about it, and how far technology really has come to make a creation such as this. You'll initially hear the little bit of whir from the electric motor, and then the gasoline will kick in, you'll hear a little bit more of that throaty sound. Now the engine's kicking in. And they're both working in tandem to get me back up to speed. Another thing I noticed, that when in eco mode, the car is geared solely for fuel economy. There is no performance advantage or anything like that. So if you needed to make evasive maneuvers or anything like that, the car acts a little a little herky-jerky sometimes, mainly in lower speeds, where it's going between the electric motor and then the engine, and then trying to keep the RPMs down. It needs to be smoothed out just a little bit. But when you're going to pass somebody, just take it out of eco mode and then just accelerate. You'll be a lot happier. The car will be a lot more responsive at that point. What's really nice about the Optima hybrid is that it doesn't really skimp on audio quality. Now, with many of the hybrid and other gas electric vehicles today, a lot of the audio systems that they put into the vehicles are some sort of green technology. They're either smaller speakers or speakers designed in a more economically friendly way, and thus it compromises a little bit on audio quality. But with this one in particular, with the Hybrid Premium, you can opt for a 550 watt 8-speaker Infinity Premium surround sound system with this LCD touchscreen mobile media interface equipped with Kia's UVO voice-activated technology. The Infinity system provides a very nice mix of bass and treble without being too overpowering. Your side curtain airbags, hands-free Bluetooth microphone, little card holder off to the right, and if you fail to turn it off beforehand, it'll automatically shut it off, same as in Hyundai vehicles. Auto-dimming view mirror with integrated garage home link and compass. And up top, you have your interior illumination, a little bit of LED accent lighting, as well as a padded sunglass container. This is your control for your fully automatic panoramic sunroof. Pulls back the shades, and then automatically raises the glass. Once the glass is raised, a little windscreen pops up to decrease the buffeting. As far as the center console, it's intelligently designed with fantastic ergonomics. The center stack is actually angled a little bit more towards the driver to give you more of a little cockpit feel. And it's also wrapped in a stitched padded material. Now, as far as the multimedia system, it's quite easy to use. For example, this is your main radio screen. It has all of your preset stations, all of the song and radio data, change the categories or manual tune, searching stations, listing the available ones, scanning, as well as adjusting your sound options, including your automatic sound leveling and equalizers. To go between the different menus, you'll look in this little button stack here, nicely accented with a little bit of chrome, just as the climate control setup is. And what's also nice, if you look at it without the hazard control here, this piece almost looks like it would fit into this piece, almost like a little puzzle fitment. So it's a nice little design cue. And your various media options, whether it be iPod, auxiliary integration, hands-free Bluetooth streaming of audio, USB input, or your in-dash CD player up top. Now, with both Kia and Hyundai vehicles, you can opt for this integrated iPod cable, which utilizes the auxiliary input as well as the USB input, so it'll charge the system, or charge your iPod, simultaneously while it's playing, and then you can interact with it with the system. Now, when you're manual tuning through Sirius satellite radio, for example, one of the little drawbacks is you have to hit enter to select the station unless you go to seek. You have your hands-free Bluetooth telephone down below with an integrated dialing pad, storing up contacts as well as voice dialing. Also, your navigation, nice and easy to see with real-time traffic updates. Destination input, also very simple. Search points of interest near you, as well as storing your favorite addresses, emergency contacts, and your home. Not to mention your route settings, whether you want to cancel it, change the different routes, detours, or avoid certain streets. Now, what's also nice being a hybrid vehicle, it also has this unique eco-dynamic system, which basically gives you hybrid vehicle data, including your fuel economy. You can see the energy flow as it goes through the vehicle, and I'll show that a little bit more during the test drive. As well as a couple interactive settings, such as this little eco monitor here. The more economical you're driving, the wheels are spinning and leaves will spin out from behind the vehicle. And Earth, just another different menu where you can basically see the same data. Now, all of that is actually paired with the integrated driver information system activated by the trip computer down below, and that shows up in the middle of the speedometer cluster. For example, this particular screen shows the energy flow throughout the vehicle, whether it be through the engine, the battery, or in tandem with each other. Tachometer off to the left, gear off to the right, and odometer down below. Now, Eco Level is another one of those little interactive hybrid menus. The more economical you drive, it's not really high because we've been sitting for a little bit, but more leaves will start to bloom, as well as flowers eventually, as this little section down here lights up more towards the right. Eco Score, instantaneous fuel economy, distance till empty, trip computer, vehicle diagnostics, pretty much standard systems otherwise. And down below you also have an active eco mode. When activated, the driver information system shows up green until you deactivate it. And basically what that is it gears the car in a different way to make the transmission shift quicker and keep the RPMs down as low as possible. But if you didn't notice already too, the left side gauge is actually unique to the hybrid as well. Off to the right you have your battery charge, down below is vehicle temperature, now off to the far left is the hybrid energy system, where green is basically economical driving, as well as indications for activation of electric vehicle mode, which we're currently in right now. And the faster you drive, or more uneconomical that you drive, it'll go up into the white portion and then up to the red as such. While idling periodically, the engine will actually cut on, like I mentioned at the beginning, just under 2,000 RPM or so, to just keep the battery charged. And back to this screen, you can kind of see it in a different format. Now as you come down the floating center console, you'll also notice the dual zone automatic climate control system. If you hit climate right here, it'll actually bring up a little LCD interface so you can actually see the direction of flow of the air through the vehicle, temperature, and the like. So if we go ahead and turn it on, that's basically what it looks like. You can see the different zone that you have selected, as well as temperature adjustments and fan speed. As we come across the center console, you'll see the same dark brush trim that you also found the doors, giving a little bit more of a premium look to it. There's also two-stage heated and ventilated seats for both the driver and passenger. A nice luxury touch. Along the iPod cable, you have a little bit of storage, as well as two 12-volt power outlets. Two large cup holders, padded center console, with removable tray, and a nice storage well. Your clock settings are located to the right of your CD drive. As far as the rest of the steering wheel controls, you have your cruise control here, your hands-free telephone and voice commands.
Command, please.
Help.
To see a list of device-dependent commands, say the device name and help, for example destination help. They are available at any time during the dialogue.
Radio help.
Radio help. Command, please.
Cancel. Sort of list it out so you can kind of study and practice up on it. It's pretty convenient. Your intermittent wipers, lighting controls, radio controls, as well as the data down below here for your driver info system, the active eco, as well as resetting the different menus. Alrighty. Gotta shut her down. And we'll check out the back seat. Back seat room in the Optima is also quite good. Specifically in the Hybrid Premium, the back seat also comes heated, which is also quite nice. Little coat hooks, airbags in the C-pillar, your rear-mounted subwoofer for the Infinity audio system, trunk pass-through, A nice comfortable back seat package for a vehicle in this class. And we're going to check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we?
Now, as far as standard trunk space in a regular Optima, it's around 15.4 cubic feet, which is average for the class. In the Optima Hybrid, though, it drops to around 9.9 cubic feet, and that's really just because of the battery placement. There is a little bit of space right there, so you can still access the rear pass-through, but it is a little bit limited. Just a little bit of a trade-off, but that's pretty common with hybrid vehicles.
The passenger seat features the same power adjustments as the driver's seat, minus the power lumbar. Also, pretty good sized glove box. The deep well.
Uniquely styled and packed full of features all at a value price, the Optima is a great pick in the family sedan market. The hybrid broadens out the choices with a fuel-efficient alternative, but it'll be nice to see the evolution of these new sedans as time progresses and hybrid tech evolves further.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed this detailed look at the 2012 Kia Optima Hybrid Premium. Be sure to stay tuned next time. There's a lot more where that came from. Take care, everybody.